We're here to celebrate this beautiful building on this beautiful day. My name is Nicole Branca. I am the executive director, I guess I can say this, the new executive director of New Destiny Housing. And today we're here to open our 7th domestic violence supportive housing residence in New York and our largest. So we're very excited. We'll have 62 units, 37 dedicated to domestic violence survivors and their children. We're not here today just to celebrate the 62 new homes for New Yorkers in need, but we're also here to celebrate a woman who devoted 24 years to finding apartments for domestic violence survivors in need. And so today, we are officially renaming the Bryant to the Corden after Carol Corden. We're very happy to bring affordable housing to the Bronx. This is so much more than housing. This will be a safe haven for survivors and their families who have known the double trauma of both homelessness and abuse. And so we're so happy to be able to create this housing for this population.
Any of you who have sat opposite Carol to have a conversation about New Destiny know you can't leave that conversation without feeling inspired and desperate, really, to help this organization. And that's how I left. But seeing this building, I think you can see what this organization's done in these last 2 years. Carol laying all the groundwork, building up this amazing staff, Joseph and Brenda, I'm not saying everybody, and Dick and Joan, and Diane, this incredible staff, and then Nicole coming through, jumping right in, and look at what they have created during this time.
Domestic violence is a silent killer. I can't think of anyone's family, unless it's a very small one, where somewhere in the food chain there is domestic violence. I can say in my family, my broader family, there are situations, and unfortunately, too many, mostly women, suffer in silence. What we are doing here today, in my view, is God's work. We are here to help our most vulnerable. And one of the things that Governor Hochul believes, in addition to being very much a supporter of domestic violence survivors and families, is that we are here to make sure that everyone has a seat at the table, everyone's included, that as we spend the resources of this state, as we talk about a new affordable housing plan, that supportive housing is a key part of that. As we talk about how we are distributing resources across the board, that we are thinking about it with good judgment and with a real heart. That's what we are here to do. And what we're doing here today is not only helping those who get to move in, but it's helping to give hope to those who need hope. I have long believed that the way to end homelessness is with supportive housing. We have too much money. I went to business school, not that anyone cares about that, but the one thing I learned in business school is make sure that you think about the costs on both sides. So what do I mean by that? Some might say, oh, there's a cost to providing supportive housing. Yes, there is. But there's also the cost of providing shelters, having people live in shelters. There's also all of the sort of everyday cost and trauma, economic and emotional, that has to be calculated when people are in vulnerable situations and we're not doing anything to help. So thank you for your work. The state will be your partner, and I appreciate having this time to speak to you this morning.
I couldn't think of a better way to pay a tribute to all the work that you have done. I have these things written in like third person as if you're not here. Like, Carol is a wonderful person, but I could just say, Carol, you really are a wonderful person. You have been the guidepost for this issue, certainly for me and my entire career, and I think that goes for so many others who do this work. And you are a lovely human. You work incredibly tirelessly, and it is inspiring. And I think that the families that you served and all the work that you've done will become this permanent part of the fabric of the city, which I know you love so much. A secure home is essential to our well-being, to our physical health, and it's why developments like the Corden are so crucial. Permanent supportive housing is so essential for people who have experienced the trauma of homelessness, for children, for survivors of domestic violence. And so we are providing families with the security and dignity of having a roof over their heads and also access to services which they very much need and can be hard to access, whether that's financial counseling, professional development, case management, being able to do all that in the confines of a modern, family-friendly building in a neighborhood that people can find community and call home, creates stronger futures for everyone who lives here, especially the children.
What we need is permanent housing for families, and that's exactly what this project is building here, which is permanent housing for individuals that need them, not only for domestic violence, but I also see that there's a mix for affordable housing as well. I get at least 1 or 2 calls a week. Is individuals who are looking for housing because they're going through some type of domestic violence. Whether it's seniors going through domestic violence with their own family members, or it's individuals with their partners, whether it's a man and a woman, or regardless of their relationship, they're looking for housing. And I'm extremely excited that we took this empty lot, this vacant lot here, and we're bringing something positive here.
So to be here today in this development, to have this kind of project right here in this borough, in the South Bronx, where you can see so clearly through these beautiful windows, unfortunately there has been a lack of investment for many, many years. I do congratulate Councilor Salamanca as land use chair for really working so diligently and making sure we have that housing and making sure it's affordable. I thank Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin and the Kathy Hochul administration for really being a partner with city and state. As you said, I was a staffer in city council for many years before being elected to office, so I know very well the work that needs to be done in the council so we can see projects like this. And I look forward to continue being a partner. This is a beautiful, beautiful development that we want to see more of. 62 units is great, but as you said, unfortunately, it's just a drop in the bucket of the issue we have. So we need to work much, much harder, much, much longer. And I think you have great partners here in this room. And I look forward to a much more beautiful day in New York and the Bronx. So thank you.
The work that we do is universal and needed by all. We couldn't be more excited than to bring this beautiful building online to serve our mission of providing high quality, permanent, supportive housing for the families of domestic violence survivors. That this building is being named for Carol is a fitting acknowledgement of her contribution over decades to providing quality housing for families and individuals under duress. For over 2 decades, Carol's integrity, smarts, dedication, and doggedness have made our organization, New Destiny Housing Corporation, one of the premier organizations nationwide at providing supportive housing to domestic violence survivors and their families. Carol's contribution to New Destiny is immeasurable. However, this day, we are honored to memorialize her service of her and her family to the dedication of this building in her name. Congratulations, Carol.